Okay, today on Kitchen Bandito, we're doing stuffed chicken breast with braised Brussels sprouts and parsley rice. Let's get cooking. Okay, we're going to render 3 rations of bacon because we're going to saute these Brussels sprouts in the bacon fat. Move it over to the pan. It should be nice and toasty. Oh, that's a good sound. That's a good sound. What we're doing here is rendering out the fat, and we're going to saute all the Brussels sprouts in it. You want to make sure you don't crowd the pan so they don't steam and they actually fry and the fat actually melts. Oh, that's looking good already. Man, it's a hot pan. I might want to turn it down just a little bit. This guy. There we go. Oh, it already smells delicious in here already. Heck yeah. We're going to let this sit for about a minute, and then we're going to flip it. Make sure all that deliciousness takes a nice oil coating in the pan, and those Brussels sprouts will be coated, or as the French say, enrobed. Okay, so these have been rendering for about a minute. We're going to flip them. Just want to turn them over and render the other side of the bacon. So that's the most important part, is getting all that out. So we're going to give it a toss. Try not to spatter yourself with the oil. And if you have to reach in or use a fork, I would recommend using a fork because that burns. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. That's the deliciousness. What we don't want to do is burn it. If we burn it, it becomes bitter. And that's going to never go away from the entire integrity of the taste of the dish. There we go. There we go. See how it's getting all crispy? Now what we do is we take this out, we put it on some paper towels and let it drain until we get nice and crispy. And then we can chop it up and add it to the end of the dish. We'll use it as a garnish. So not only have the Brussels sprouts and the awesome flavor of the bacon and the awesome flavor of the Brussels sprouts, but you'll also have the crunch, which will add an extra texture. Let it ride. Now we're going to start the side that's going to go with our stuffed chicken. What we're going to do is make a side of rice. We're going to use arborio rice, and we're going to start it up and put the heat on to about medium. Boom, there we go. Now we want to flavor our water before we put the rice in. We want it to make it taste like the sea, but not the Dead Sea. So we're going to do about, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice. When you're making rice, you always want to do 2 to 1. And the trick to rice is, everybody thinks it's complicated, but it's not. You let it boil, and when it evaporates, you start seeing little bubbles come out of the rice. You cover it, set it aside, perfect every time. There we go. Let it ride. Now we're going to prep the chicken. As you can see, if you look down here, I have a lot of extra extraneous fat and sinew around here. Nobody wants to eat that. So we're going to trim it off. So first we prep our knife, a couple of swipes on the steel. Basically it just gives it its edge back. It's not sharpening, it's just returning the edge. Use a nice nylon board, sturdy board, doesn't slide around. And then just cut around. Just take it off. Easy as that. You flip it over. See under here is a tenderloin. You can just pull that off if you want. You can leave it on. I tend to leave it on because it just adds to the meat of the chicken. Do the same on the other one. See, look at all that fat. Boom. Just take it off. Boop, boop, boop. Done and done. See this right here? This is sinew. Can't eat that. It's too chewy. Done and done. Take a little more fat off there. This stuff is okay. It just pulls right off with your fingers. See? Boop. And away you go. We can probably take off too. Don't worry, we didn't lose that much meat. So there we go. Because what we're going to do is put a nice slice down the breast. to make a beautiful pocket, and that's where we're going to stuff all of our stuffing. Do the same to the other side. All right, we're prepped. Next, we're getting ready for the marinade. All right, now we've prepped the chicken. Now we need to make the marinade. The first thing is we have to wash our hands. You can't have raw chicken hands. Cut them off. This way we don't cross-contaminate our other ingredients here. We'll start with some Italian dressing. Now you can make your own Italian dressing, and that'd be cool. But if you can buy it from the store and save yourself a couple of steps, that's the way to go. Now we're going to add a little dab of Worcestershire sauce, some crushed red pepper for heat, because I like it kind of hot, so I'm going to add a couple more shakes, and some smoked paprika. It makes it feel like it's on the grill. Okay, give that a good shake. Oh, that looks beautiful. Look at that. Now we're going to go back to our raw chicken and put it in there and let it set for a half an hour. You can let it sit overnight too. But half an hour is a minimal though, because you want to actually have your marinade actually penetrate the meat. Give it a good rub. Seal it up. Put it in the fridge and let it rest. Wash your hands again. Now we're going to prep the veg for the rice. What I'm going to start with is a half a cup of celery cut on a bias. 1 green bell pepper. We're going to cut like this. I'll show you how to cut that. See all that stuff in there? That's all very bitter. You can just tear it right out. Super easy. Super easy. Even on the top too. Don't ever throw it away. You can always use that for stock. We'll go back in here and we'll cut it in fourths. See all this pith here? That stuff's bitter. We want to get rid of it. So we just flatten it out and run the knife underneath. Look at that. Shiny. Do the same for all the other 4 pieces. Boom, boom. Don't cut yourself. And now, run it through. And we'll just do a nice julienne. Julienne means little ribbons. It's because it's all French. And it just makes it cook evenly. If they're all the same size, they'll always cook evenly. Boop, boop, boop. Look at that. Hey man, what's up with that? Hold your fingers back so you don't cut them. Like I almost did. Cut it over the side. Use your knife in a rocking motion, kind of like how a train moves. Do you watch the side wheels of a train? That's exactly how it runs. There we go. Bob's your uncle. Next we'll prep our shallot. It's just like an onion, but it's got a little bit of garlic feel to it. So we're going to take the root end off. You're going to make several cuts all down. One across. And it's a simple way to make a dice. You could use this on an onion or any root vegetable. And look at that. Look at that. Boop. Small dice. Next we're going to prep our Brussels sprouts. Now they have a very woody end, so you want to take that off. Usually you could score it if you're going to use it whole, but we're halving them. And I have some already prepared. I'm just going to give you a shot to see how we do it. Now we could cut this in quarters if it's a really big one like this, so they all cook evenly, which we'll probably do with this one, because it's very big. And you want everything in equal size, so it all cooks together. I'm going to show you some that I already have prepared here. And we'll just put them on the plate. And these are what we're going to saute in that beautiful bacon fat along with the peppers and onions. Next we're going to prepare the filling for the chicken. We've got 2 tablespoons of ricotta cheese, 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. Thyme comes out of stalk. The woody parts aren't usable. What we do is we just strip them down right off the stem. Like this, just pull down. It's real super easy. These are woody, you can't eat them. So, and then we add it. We don't need a whole lot. It's a very powerful spice. Add that in. 1 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of basil. 1 tablespoon of sun-dried tomatoes. It brings a really fruit party to the table. Then we're going to actually use a 1/4 cup of goat cheese, which has got a nice zing to it. It's very tangy. And of course, for salt and nuttiness, we're going to add 1/8 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. We're going to mix that all together, make it slurry. This is fun. What you do is stir it up, stir it up. And this is going to get stuffed into the chicken, and it's going to flavor it from the inside, which is pretty cool. And add some color. You know what this needs? It needs a little heat. We're going to add a couple of shakes of crushed red pepper, some black pepper, a couple of squeezes there, and some salt. And there you go. Okay, so now that our chicken has been marinated for 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and stuff it. Then we're going to wrap it and get some pig on it. So we'll take it out of the bag, let it drain a little bit. See, it's nice and marinated. Slap it on our nylon board. And this marinade has done all of its deliciousness, so we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go over to our bacon. We got a couple of rashers of bacon here. And first we got to stuff it. So I got our stuffing that we have chilled for a little bit. Pop it right in that pocket that we made. Awesome. There we go. Fold it over. Alright, now we're cooking. Do the same with the other one. Open that pocket up. Drop in our marinade. Sorry, our filling. There we go. Oh, we got a plopper. There we go. Alright. Tighten it up. We don't have to worry about too much of that because we're going to wrap it. Get our pig. That's it. That guy's done. Start with this guy. We'll tie it up and keep it all tidy, like you're tucking it in a bed. All this is going to cook in that 425-degree oven for 30 minutes. Yeah, I can't wait. Okay. And we'll do the same to the other one. Fold that over. Oh, tuck it in, tuck it in. There we go. Move that to the side. We'll do the other guy. Man, that's being efficient. Okay. And now we're going to go to the pan. So we got a nice screaming hot pan. Wash our hands again. Got a cast iron pan set right on the stove with a little knob of butter. Nice and brown for about 30 seconds until it gets all foamy and starts to look like the color of caramel. And once that pan is nice and warm, you're going to hear that sizzle. Follow me. Two. All right, into the oven it goes. Easy peasy. I put it on the mid rack. That's the way it's the center of the oven. Because if it was up top, it'd be broiling. We don't want that. We want this to go low and slow for 40 minutes. Okay, now that our chicken already in the oven, we're going to put our mise en place into the frying pan and get it rolling right now. So we'll start with celery because it takes the longest to cook. Oh yeah, baby. And our bell peppers. Always lay away from these so you don't get the grease splattered back at you. That's the thing you learn real fast. And the Brussels sprouts, which are going to take the longest. Oh yeah. Oh. Finally, our shallots. Give it a shake. Let it ride. Okay, now we're gonna add the parsley to the rice. The rice has been sitting for about 10-15 minutes. Make sure it's not too hot. Look at that. Look at that. We're just gonna fluff it up a little bit. Oh, beautiful. Perfect rice every time. Perfect formula. This guy's rolling. I'll take him off the heat. They cook very fast. And now we're gonna add our aromatics. I'm gonna add some fresh parsley. And there. Here, turn this heat off. Bye. And we'll go ahead and stir it in. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. And we'll let that rest. Okay, it's been 40 minutes. Let's check on our chicken. Oh, buddy. What? Toasty bandito! Ow! Okay, look at that, baby. Oh, look at all those juices. That'll make a wonderful sauce. That's another show. Okay, let's let it rest for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and plate it up. Okay, so it's rested for 5 minutes. We're gonna cut into it. Let's transfer it over. Oh, heavy. All right, let's see how we did. Oh, listen to that crispiness right there. Oh, baby, look at the juiciness there. Bacon's just falling right off. Look at that. Now we'll transfer it to the plate. And there we go. See how it tastes. Some of that sauce in there. Oh. Hot. So juicy. The rice is fresh and aromatic. Brussels sprouts, right on point. Try this at home. Super easy. Stuffed chicken breast, right?